So let's go to our weather view, which is a controller or of our weather view XIB, because this is the place we need to fix these problems, because visually this is the only place we set our formats. So in our weather view, if we scroll down, we can find this function where we are setting the current weather. And here, when I'm setting my temp label, what I want to do here is to set my label based on my temp format, and also we want to set it to be formatted in different way. So I'm going to put few enters here, and I'm going to pass a string, and we can format this. And my format is going to be, let's put a placeholder here, %.0f, because we don't want to have any decimal points. And I'm going to put another placeholder, which is a string, so it's %at. And this will be our format of our temperature. So let me pass this temperature as my first argument, which will replace this placeholder. And then I can put a comma and say a return temp format from user defaults. And remember, this function returns a string, jump to definition, and it's going to be a Celsius or Fahrenheit. So we have this function is actually for double usage. All right, and let's get rid of this, and let's run our code, and we're going to see some changes on our main weather area. So now it's formatted nicely, and we have also our format here, so we know what exactly we are looking at. So the next thing is to fix everything here, which is our hourly weather. So let me check here. We have our temperature feels like as well, so we need to look at it as well. All right, it's already formatted, so it's 1 decimal point, which is okay. And then we want to check our forecast cell here. And for our forecast cell, again, we want to, instead of just returning our temperature here, for our weather temperature, I want to put a string format, and my string format again is going to be %.0f, and another placeholder for my temperature format. Now let's put this, comma, and we say return, I need a comma here, return temp format from user defaults. So this part is done as well. Then we can move to our weather table view cell. So let's see where this is, weather table view cell. And here we have our temperature again, forecast temp, and I'm going to set it to string with my new formatting. And again, we are going to set %.0f placeholder, and we say return temp format from our user defaults. Finally, we have our info cell. Let me check if there is anything we need to do here. No, we don't have anything here. And the last thing is our main, let's go here. So it's this part here, which is our main cell, main weather table view cell. So let's scroll down. I said we have a to do here, and instead of just C here, I'm going to put a placeholder, put a comma, and we are going to return temp format from user defaults. So let's rerun. So on top we have everything set correctly. Here we have everything set correctly, so it's nicely formatted and we have our temp type on it. Then here we have formatted nicely. On our weekly weather we have formatted nicely, and here again we have everything set formatted nicely. So if I switch to Celsius, get back here, and let's see if everything changes to Celsius. Let's see, the feels like here is 19.6 and the rest is Celsius. So this is working as well. Our dynamic functionality for our temp format is set to work correctly. So let's see what else we have in our view. We have all the cities here. We can search for a new one. Let's check the weather in Dubai. So if we go here and scroll to the Dubai. So Dubai has actually almost 20 degrees Celsius. And everything else is working properly. So it looks like our application is functioning as it should. Let's just quickly try to say delete the Cupertino, which doesn't give us an option because this is our current location. But for everything else we can delete it. And this, our table view, has this nice footer which is always available. So let's delete the Dubai and get back here. Now we have only 4 left. And now you can see when we deleted something, I have Nicosia, and actually here there is nothing. This is the last object. But when I scroll, I can see Dubai still here. And the reason we get this, even though if we deleted Dubai, is we have a small bug that we need to fix with our view, because whenever we come here and we reload, we don't get rid of all old views that are in our array. So what we want to do is to empty our array that are holding our weather views as well. So if I go to my weather view, and this bug happens only if you load your, so if I reload now, actually you will not see this. So now you will not see anything. So Nicosia is the last thing. But if I come here, for example, I delete Nicosia, and if I go back and I scroll, you can still see Nicosia. In fact, what we can do is if we go to our weather view here, let's scroll all the way up. So this is our all weather views, and we make them empty. But the thing is, we are adding these weather views not only in the array, but we have this function that every time we create a weather view, we add it as subview to our scroll view. So when we delete these weather views, we make the array of weather views empty, so we have no more weather views inside the array. It doesn't mean that we are removing them as a subview of our scroll view. So let me show you what I want to do here. Every time we load our views, I want to say print, say we have, and we're going to pass a number of subviews. And I am going to access my scroll weather scroll view dot subviews, which is array dot count, and let's see how many subviews we are actually getting here. So it says on our view did load, of course at this stage we have 0 subviews because we haven't set anything yet. But if I go here and let's say without doing anything, I come back. Let's see why this doesn't get printed. This did appear. It happens only once, so we cannot print it here actually. View did, let's see, did load. All right, let's do it after our get weather. So I'm going to paste it here. So it says we have 3 subviews, which is correct. We have 1, 2, 3. All right. So if I come now and let's say if I delete Dublin and if I go back, it says we have 5 subviews. So how come I just deleted 1? So what happens is we still have our 3 inside our scroll view that I initially added, and plus 2 were added again, Cupertino and Toronto, because these are the 2 we are presenting, and we added them again. So you can see more there. So if I come and if I delete Toronto and if I go back, now we will have 6 because we have added Cupertino 1 more time. And this will go on and on and on. So what we need to do is clean our weather scroll view subviews every time we load our view as well. So I'm going to delete this line and let's make some space here, and we want to write a function that is gonna delete our subviews. So let me do it right after this. So I say private func remove views from subview. Actually, let's do it from scroll view. Okay, and how we are going to remove the views, because you cannot just say scroll view subviews equals to empty string. What we want to do is go through every view our current weather scroll view has. So we say for view in weather scroll view, and actually we need to say dot subviews, so it has an array. So we have access to the view, and once we have access to every subview of our scroll view, I'm going to say view dot remove from super view. So our view will remove itself from our super view, which is our weather scroll view in this case. So we have this function that will save our code, and let's see where we need to call this. In our view did appear, I'm going to put this, let's move this, and also let's keep our print to see if it's actually working. So say we have weather scroll view subviews count, and let's run this. So it says we have 1 because this is only our current location. Let's add view here. Let's add more. London. And let's go back. So now we have 4, as it says, we have 4, and everything is okay so far. So if I come here and if I delete the London, if I go back, it says now we have 3, so that our scroll view subviews are being removed, and you can see we don't have this bug anymore. Let's try one more time. We delete the last object, go back, and says now we have 2, and you don't see anymore our bug there. So this way we keep our scroll view clean, because if our user goes back and forth with deleting all the views, we will have a lot of views generating in our scroll view, which will result in our application using more and more memory, and maybe resulting in iOS killing our application to save up some memory.